Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is almost the end of March and I didn't want to let the month go by without talking a little bit about colorectal cancer. March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and as this month is coming to a close, I didn't want to let this opportunity go by without talking about colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer is the second most deadliest cancer, and it's the fourth most common cancer in the United States. It's recommended that all people start getting screened starting at the age of 45. This may be sooner for people that are at a higher risk of colorectal cancer. People that may be at higher risk would be individuals with inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, a history of colorectal cancer, or a history of colorectal polyps. So what exactly is colorectal cancer? It starts out as an abnormal growth of tissue, which is called a polyp in the colon or the rectum. With the help of screening tests, doctors can actually find and remove polyps that prevent colorectal cancer from forming. The most common symptoms of colorectal cancer is actually no symptoms at all, which is why it is very critical to be screened. If there are symptoms that are present, they can include blood in or on the stool, persistent or unusual bowel movements such as diarrhea or constipation, stomach pains, aches, cramping that won't go away, and losing weight for no reason at all. Getting screened is very easy. It can seem like a scary thing, but as someone who has had numerous colonoscopies, I've lost count of how many times I have gotten scoped. I can say the worst part is the prep, the stuff you have to drink. That's the worst part. The actual procedure, you're asleep, you take a very nice nap, and you feel great afterwards. So just know this is something that is so preventable, and it may seem scary, but it is honestly a very smooth procedure of all the ones I've had. So if you are having to get a colonoscopy, whether you're at a higher risk or you've turned 45 and you are now in the group of people who need to get screened regularly, know it's not a scary procedure. Listen to your doctor on the instructions that they give for the prep. Each doctor is different as far as what they might prescribe for your prep. Usually leading up to it, the day before, you'll be on a clear liquid diet. Usually the only colors you can't have as far as the liquid is red and purple. This is just because when you're clearing yourself out, some of those dyes can stick around and they don't want to think it's blood. So you have to stay away from the purple or red colored things, but everything else is fair game. I know clear liquid diet does not sound fun, and it isn't, but it's not bad because you can have as much as you want. So generally I'm having black coffee. I may have a couple of those. You could have sodas, teas, carbonated beverages, broth. I'm a big fan of I think it's called Lano bone broth. You can either buy it in little packets, or they actually make some for your Keurig if you have a Keurig, and that is how I make them. But it is, to me, the best flavored bone broth I've ever had. It has a ton of protein. I want to say the chicken one has like 6 or 7 grams of protein, and then if you do the beef, it's a little bit higher, maybe 9 grams. So I usually do a bunch of those on my liquid day, just because they kind of fill you up. I've made Jell-O before, Stay away from the red stuff. Gosh, I've had a bunch of juices, things like that to help keep myself full throughout the day. And then generally, depending on when your procedure is, but generally in the evening is when you will start your colonoscopy prep. I've heard that they've slowly been moving to pills, like oral pills, instead of taking the oral liquid, which honestly, I would much prefer that than the liquid, because it doesn't taste great, guys. Some of the prep is, the names are Go Lightly, the Suprep, ClinPick, I think is another one. Those are some of the big ones. I think I've had Suprep, and I can't remember, maybe it was Movie Prep, I think was one of the other names before they changed to Suprep. It's a lot of liquid, and usually when I've had a colonoscopy, it's because I am flaring and I'm not well, and so it's even harder to get that stuff down. Essentially, you want to try to keep it down. So just follow the directions your doctor tells you. Now that I don't have my colon, the last couple of pouchoscopies that I've had, yes, I still get scoped, even though I don't have my colon. My doctor wants to regularly scope my pouch just to check, because I can get inflammation in my J pouch. So since my last one I did in December, I think we're going to do it every 2 years is what he said, just to maintain as long as nothing comes up. The last couple times I've had a pouchoscopy, because I don't have my colon, I have less intestines, my doctor just tells me to use Miralax. I can say out of all of the prep I've ever done, Miralax is my favorite because it's unflavored. And I know sometimes unflavored still get a little gritty. This stuff's not gritty, guys. I think I have to do double. I think the last time I did double the dose was what they wanted me to do twice. So I did double the dose like at 5, and then I had to do it again at like 7 or 8 or something like that. But once you mix it really well, and I mixed it in water, mixed it really, really well till I no longer saw the floaties. It basically it was not cloudy. It looked like a glass of water, and it tasted like a glass of water. There was no aftertaste. It was amazing. I've had the smoothest thing with Miralax. As far as for colonoscopy prep, it probably could be used as well, but I don't know if it's as effective when you have your colon like it is for me, since I don't have my colon. It is an option as well, and is what I have to do when I get scoped. So, but usually you'll start your prep in the evening, and then even though you've done your prep, you can still have liquids up until midnight. And that's no matter what time your procedure is the next day. It's usually a midnight cutoff. I prefer to have a scope done in the morning because, unfortunately, because you've cut your liquids off at midnight, you can't have anything in the morning, basically up until your procedure. So it's not fun when you have a later procedure and you're awake and you're starving. I try to get a morning appointment. I will get as early as I can because, trust me, once you start getting hungry, it's not fun because you can't have anything. Sometimes the nurse will let you know if you have medications that you take in the morning. Sometimes they will go over everything. They usually call to confirm your time, go over the medications that you take, and they will let you know if you can still take them in the morning. I have taken medication with just a tiny little bit of water in the morning, and that is okay. But they really don't want you drinking a ton of water, just since you do go under anesthesia. Once you get to the hospital, it's easy. They get you all checked in. You change into a hospital gown. They give you little socks, and then the nurse will hook you up with an IV. I give you some fluids, which is great for me, having no colon. I'm usually extremely dehydrated, so the fluids are great. And then the anesthesiologist comes by to talk to you. The nurse that's going to be in the room with your surgeon or your GI, they come by, and then your doctor will come by usually. But They have you sign some stuff, and then they roll you back. And usually anesthesiologists will go ahead and give you the stuff as they're kind of having you get ready. So you roll onto your left side, and then I'm usually out before anything else happens. And then next thing you know, you wake up, you're back in the bay, and they're giving you a soda. So it really isn't that bad. If the doctor sees polyps, they will go ahead and a little snip. You don't feel anything afterwards. So just a heads up, you're not gonna feel, they had to remove a polyp, you're not feeling that. You're usually not in pain. You're a little sore because you did have a scope up your rear, but it's not, I don't know, it's just a little sore, and it's not painful or anything. They'll send the polyps off, and then whenever the results come back, they'll let you know if they saw anything, but generally it's just preventing those polyps from turning into cancer. So it's really easy. Usually they'll make sure that you are coherent and you're feeling okay before they let you go. Of course, you're not allowed to drive yourself, so you have to have somebody with you to drive you home. And basically it's just a chill day after that. You can eat and drink whatever you want. They usually give you some like crackers or something and some kind of carbonated beverage, change into your clothes, and then you are good to go. So it's really an easy procedure. Like I said, the worst part is just that prep the day before, and it's never fun doing a liquid diet, but that's it. The actual procedure, it's great. I found a really good resource online called the Colorectal Cancer Alliance. They had a ton of brochures, information, tips for either prepping for a colorectal screening, or if you've been diagnosed, how to talk with your family about it, things to prepare yourself for treatments. It's just a wealth of knowledge. And I did find they had some tips for promoting a healthy colon, and I thought I would share some of those with you. Even though I don't have my colon, these are things that I did kind of know about when I still had my colon and had gotten diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. So one of them is limiting red meat in your diet. This is just because I had my doctor tell me that your large intestines, your colon, does not digest red meat very well. So it's best to just avoid it or limit it, especially if you have inflammatory bowel disease, where you're gonna have inflammation in there anyways. Why make it work harder than what it's already doing? Another one is reducing or limiting processed meats like sausage, hot dogs, bacon. I know, bacon tastes so good, but either eliminating them from your diet or reducing them is going to just be better for your colon overall. Another one is reducing excess sugar in your diet. Also eliminating fried foods. Yet again, I know fried foods are so delicious. Fried foods actually and spicy foods were actually triggers for me when I did have my colon. So I didn't fully eliminate them, but I did limit my intake because it just got things a little angry, and I usually had to go to the bathroom a lot. So I just tried to stay away, maybe have it as a treat every now and then, but definitely not in excess. Another tip is to trade starchy vegetables like potatoes, corn, lentils for non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, tomatoes, cauliflower, things like that. The last tip is to limit alcohol to no more than 1 to 2 drinks a day. Like I said, visit the Colorectal Cancer Alliance website if you want to learn more about colorectal cancer, preventing colorectal cancer by getting screened regularly, or if you have been diagnosed with colorectal cancer, some tips as far as dealing with talking to your family, preparing yourself for treatments, things like that. I'll put the website link down below for easy access for you to check it out. And that is a little bit of information that I wanted to share for Colorectal Awareness Month this March. Please, if you're getting close to turning 45, start talking to your doctor to go see a gastroenterologist so you can get screened. I believe I want to say after you get a colonoscopy, depending on what they saw, generally you don't have to get scoped, but every 10 years. They might have changed that to every 5, but that could also be if they saw polyps, they may want you to come back in 5 years just to check that there are no more polyps. But I believe it's either 5 or 10 years, so you're not getting it done every year unless you are someone that's in a higher risk category like myself. Then you would get scoped more frequently. I hope that you can share this with friends and family too if they are getting close to that age, or if they're in a group of higher risk individuals and they need to get scoped. Share this video with them. If you have any questions about getting a colonoscopy, or if you're like myself and you don't have a colon but you have a J pouch and you get scoped for your J pouch, a pouchoscopy as they call it, and you have questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will answer them as best as I can based on my experience. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. I hope this video was informational and I hope it helps you not feel afraid about getting screened for colorectal cancer. It is one of the few cancers that is so preventable if you just get screened, and it's such an easy process. I know I'm definitely someone that is afraid of the unknown, and until I've experienced it, it can be scary, but it's just so preventable. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I put out all kinds of videos about inflammatory bowel disease, my life when I had an ostomy, now my life with a J pouch, all kinds of stuff. If there is anything in particular that you would like for me to talk about, leave it in the comment below. I am all game for making all kinds of videos in regards to inflammatory bowel disease, life with the J pouch, life when I had an ostomy, all kinds of things. They're up in the air. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.